Okay, here we go. It's another wonderful day. It is the end of a day that I am going to drive home with and hope for the best, because, I have a small headache that I'm hoping I can go home and fight off. But overall, it's just not a terrible day, just certainly hasn't been the best either. I don't know what's going on. Something in the air, something in the water. I wonder about my cell phone though, because I can't seem to get it to charge. And I probably just need a can of condensed air to blow out the charging port. But it's my work phone, and I refuse to buy stuff. I refuse to buy stuff to service my work phone. And so because of that, it will just continue to not hold a charge until I find a can of condensed air somewhere, or until I get a different phone. I don't know. But I just know that I ain't gonna go out and buy stuff to maintain this thing. But today, I need to talk about my electric bill. So, during the transitional seasons of fall and spring, of which we get very few actual months of fall and or spring, spall. That's what I'm going to call them from now on, the spall seasons. Sounds kind of cool. Anyway, we don't get a whole lot of time with either of these seasons anyway. But to make matters better for me, I really like the fall season. I think fall is awesome. But I will usually turn off my HVAC unit entirely, and it saves me a ton of money on my electric bill at the end of every month. And so that's a huge win for me. Sometimes my electric bill's upwards of $200, but when I leave it off for an extended period of time, it's upwards of $40. And that's pretty amazing. So I turn it off in the fall, and I turn it off in the spring. And generally speaking, I can make it a lot longer in the fall than I can in the spring. I can tolerate being cold a lot more than I can tolerate being hot. And yesterday, it was 85 degrees in my house. And part of the problem was because I was cooking and actively using my kitchen, it made the place kind of warm up. And I was miserable all day yesterday. Hot, miserable, disgusting, the whole bit. And I suffered through it because I was like, no, it's 7 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm not turning my AC on now. Well, it's 82 degrees today. I'm really worried that I'm going to come home and it's just going to be a smoldering hot mess, and I'm just going to say to heck with it and turn it on. I think generally speaking, I make it to about May. If I'm lucky, I can turn it off in March, and I make it till about May before I just can't take it anymore. And I can usually turn it off in October and make it till about December in the fall. And so it's a 1 month difference. I usually get 2 months in the spring, 3 months in the fall, and then I need to start using my facilities again. But boy howdy, is it nice to have a $40 electric bill. That is something that is irreplaceable. And so hopefully I've almost made it halfway through April, and that's why it's if I had just been able to make it. I wanted to finish out April, and then I was I can turn the AC on in May because I'll be home a lot more in May, and I don't want to be uncomfortable while I'm at home on vacation, so I'll turn on my AC. But I can remember a couple years back, I was leaving my AC off, and it was the end of May actually, because I turned it back on the day before I was supposed to go back to work or whatever, and I was ugh, why is it so hot and muggy in here? and then I just left it on at that point in time. But I was like, shoot, I made it all the way through May. That's pretty impressive. I don't know that I'm going to make it that far this time around. I think I'm going to turn it on today when I get home, because again, it's like 84 degrees, and I'm like, I am not in the mood for being uncomfortable in my own home. I can tolerate being cold more so than I can tolerate being hot. And so we'll just have to see what Lady Luck has in store for me. I need to get some gas on the way home too. I am at 98 till empty. And usually when I get into the double digits, that's when I'm like, okay, time for gas. But yeah, it'll be a fun little afternoon. Like I said, we'll see if I can survive with the AC on or off. I need to upload some more videos. I have no reason not to. I really should try and write on this script that I'm working on. I thought about doing it over the weekend, but the amount of holes that we have means it's very difficult for me to jump in there in the middle of it and do my own scene. But we're not going to make any progress if I don't, so I guess I have to. But it's just an interesting dichotomy, because I want to be progressive, and I want to, progressive, I don't know, that's the right word. I want to make progress on this project, and it is difficult to do that if I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing with it. And so hopefully I can get home and I can upload some stuff, and I can work on that script, and I can eat a salad or something and have a nice, good day. It's been a very long time since I've uploaded videos during the week. I have kind of fallen into this pattern of just uploading throughout the weekend and just catching myself up to the 1 month mark and then doing it again. So basically 7 videos every Sunday or so. And that's fine. It doesn't get me super far ahead, but it at least maintains. And so when I do like sit down and figure out all that I've recorded, I can hopefully get a decent amount of stuff knocked out and get relatively far ahead of myself and just keep going until I'm done. And I've said this before, but like when I do reach 365, I don't know what I will do. I'm at like 132 right now, which is a pretty good stout amount of videos. I am halfway through. I'm not halfway through the year yet because I'm not in June, but we're getting close. I wonder what the halfway point for 365 is. The half of 60 is 30, and half of 300 is 150. So I wonder if 150 plus 3 would get me there. 150 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 180. It's probably more like 182.5 because 2.5 would be half of 5. So let's see if 182.5 gets me close to 365. 8 and 8 is 16. So that's 160 plus the 100 equals, well, no, it would be 200 because it's 100 plus 100. So yeah, plus 200 equals 360, and then the 2 2s and the 0.5s. Yep, I did my math right. I broke it up into weird modern math terms. I've like been doing math that way my whole life and didn't even realize it. But it does help to break it up into more manageable chunks. And I don't know why, but it does. Maybe it's a mental game. But at any rate, when I get to 180, what did I say? 182.5. So when I get to 183, I will officially be halfway there. And I am just shy of being halfway there right now, which feels about right, I guess, with how far along I am in May. But like, I don't know, is June the exact halfway mark in the year? Or is that, it's gotta be, because it's at least the halfway mark for the months. Now, granted, it'll probably be in June that I hit the halfway point. Like June 1 probably won't be video 182. In fact, I'd say it most certainly wouldn't be, because I'm on day 15 of May, and if I just swallowed out the rest of the 15, that takes me up to May 30th, and that only takes me to like 140 some odd videos, and so I'd still have another 40 some odd videos to go before I'm halfway. So I basically have to make it all the way through June before I actually hit that halfway mark. And hopefully, cross our fingers, I can get an awesome amount of videos knocked out over the course of my vacation, and people will start to see and take notice. I've really buckled down on editing and have really tried to get some good color grading going, do something more legit with my thumbnails, and just really start cranking on this project. Get to a safe place where I know that I'm getting stuff done, and I will continue to get stuff done. And that is what feels the best. And then from there, just hoping our darndest that the audience can retain and appreciate what I've got going on. And if they can't, then they can't, and that's part of life and reality as well. But I am going to do my darndest to try and hope that I can figure this out. And so we'll see. As I've said before, we will see what the time holds. We'll see if I buckle down and break down and turn on my AC, or if I can make it until the end of May. Until the beginning of May. We'll see what the future holds for us. We'll see how well my will holds out. And a buddy of mine was giving me heck for sweltering in the heat yesterday. He's like, "You're dumb for doing that." And I was like, but money, I don't have to spend it. And he's like, "Yeah, but you're still dumb for making yourself uncomfortable just for the sake of saving money." And I was like, "It's not dumb, it's practical." But at any rate, the person in front of me is slowing down significantly. So I guess it's time to pass that person. This person that's passing me is approaching rapidly, so I guess it's time to think about passing this person. All right, get the heck out of here. Make it another successful run. Today was a weird and busy and mostly unpleasant day, and I hate having days that are like that. And I like to keep like a positive outlook on things, but like sometimes a turd is just a turd, and they say you can't shine turds, so I guess there's something to be said about that. But at any rate, these return videos, drive home videos, are very hard. I have all morning to think about something to say, and sometimes I have all night to think about something to say for my morning videos, but all day I'm just bogged down with work, and by the time I get free of work, my mind is just smushed, and it's like, well, you want to come up with a concept to talk to people about for 20 minutes straight? Like, that's not going to happen. And so the videos that I do in the evenings, I feel like, are a lot less structured than the ones I do during the day, just out of the pure necessity of the fact that I've spent my whole day thinking about stuff. My brain is more often than not mush by the time I get home, and so to try and think of a topic immediately thereafter, it's not my greatest strong suit in the world. So hopefully I can entertain you all enough that you're like, you know what, it's fine, he's fine. And that's the goal here, is just to be fine, real fine. I'm at 90 miles till empty right now. I will definitely pop in and get me some gasoline. I finally sold a book from my ad for the first time, which to me is just wild, as I've been running ads for several months now, and it has just not gone through. And I've made tens of thousands of impressions at this point, but only one purchase, which is maybe the cruel reality of how I live and where I have to deal with. But I wish that it was a little bit easier to advertise yourself as an author in this modern world. But like, one thing that I do have to frequently remind myself is that like reading is an old and dying habit. Like, there are very few people in this world who still read books, and the ones who do pretty much already have their opinions and thoughts on the matter like associated or figured out, and so they're not going to take a chance per se on someone whose work they've never read before. And so with that, it is very difficult to ease your way into this niche, if it's even a niche. I don't know if it qualifies, but it's hard to find your way in just because there's so many people around and not very many of them are reading. And like I said, those who are reading already have well-established ideas of who they're going to read. And so trying to break through that noise is very difficult. Hopefully, the person who bought my book reads it and thoroughly enjoys it. Publy is a review service that I've been able to leverage and get a lot of use out of. So hopefully I can continue to use that to my advantage, and I can finally start buying on Publy again next month, because like this month has just been disastrous of the grandest proportions, and so hopefully next month will not be disastrous of the grandest proportions, and I can just send the money back to my savings and move on with my day. But there is only one way to know for sure, and that is realistically to wait until the end of the month and then be like, okay, month is about to end. Did I miss anybody? And they'll be like, no, you didn't. And I'll be like, oh, thank goodness. May is a rough month, but not rough in a bad way. It's just rough, and we have a lot of stuff going on in May. We've got tons of birthdays, we've got marriages, the whole bit. And we're just stuck here like, oh my goodness. So we'll see what the day holds. If I'm able to hold steady on my AC challenge, or if I'm just going to break down and turn on the AC, I don't know. But either way that cookie crumbles, I am very thrilled and excited to continue moving in a certain direction with this adventure. And so hopefully we can get somewhere that we need to be, and the whole world can be happy. I keep thinking about McDonald's, and like the gas station's right next to McDonald's, and I don't know why, but my body's just like, get you some McDonald's, boy. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to. I need to save my pennies. And so here we are, me at the gas station, not ordering McDonald's, despite my better judgment. It's just telling me to order McDonald's. Ugh, it's getting to be that kind of time of year. You step outside and it's just gross. It's not quite gross yet, but it's getting there. I am not a fan of being hot, if you cannot tell. Wow, that was a rhyme scheme if I ever heard one. I am not a fan of being hot, if you cannot tell. .com. Oh, man. Insert card. It's apparently very likely that they're going to make another Life is Strange video, which I devote the gaming portion of my channel to story-based games. So I'll probably go ahead and play it. I'm not going to be thrilled if it's about Max Caulfield again, but if that's what they do, that's what they do. Do I stand on my principles and not play the thing? Or do I play the thing so that I can properly make an opinion on it? I don't know. But I intend to figure it out. It's kind of funny being here and talking to myself at the gas station. I'm just chit-chatting and jabbering away, and I don't know that anybody around me knows that I'm talking to myself, but if they pay any attention to me, they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy's just sitting here talking to himself in the whole conversation. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I'll be like, actually, I don't like Cocoa Puffs anymore. They used to be really good, but not so much anymore. All right, my fill-up was $27.32. That's one of the more expensive fill-ups, actually. I haven't had one quite like that in a while. But that's okay. We gotta do what we gotta do. I have a buddy who says he hates buying food and he hates buying gas because no matter how much of it he buys, he'll still have to buy more. And I'm just like, yeah, food I actually enjoy spending money on. Gas, not so much. It's a necessary evil. It's basically a, what are they called? It's basically a utility at this point. Like, and I mean, I guess literally it can be a utility, but like, if you want to get anywhere in this modern world, chances are you gotta pay for gas to get there. Some places, like if you live in this real concentrated city area, you probably could get away with walking to and from. And I can walk a great deal of places from where I live and be just fine. I don't do it very often, but I can. And I do it as much as I can, or as often as I feel that I can. I bought a great big old spotlight for my May video. Can't wait to start playing around with that thing and see what it can do. It doesn't have an actual stand, so I had to go and buy a stand separately, which I knew I had to do that. And usually Amazon's really good about, like, if you need something that comes with the something, it'll be like, hey, you want to buy this with that? And so I was waiting for it to recommend it, and it didn't recommend it. And I was like, well, maybe it does have a stand, but I really don't think it does. And it came in and it didn't. And I was like, oh, would you look at that? I was right on the money. So at any rate, I'm waiting to hear back from the venue that I wanted to film this video at and be like, yo, am I filming this thing here or not? And if they say no, then I gotta figure out where I'm gonna film it at, because I was kind of had my heart set on that location, but I was really hoping with like being a local yokel that they would just be like, you can just have this location, you don't have to pay for it. But they were all like, nah, when do you want it? What are you trying to do? I'll get you a quote. I was like, oh no. But like honestly, like renting it out for like a small event isn't all that expensive, and that's like with staff. I was like, I don't need you to staff the whole venue. I just need you to I just need to be able to film a music video on your guys' center stage. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll see what we can do. So hopefully it's not all that pricey to do that. Hopefully it's just a couple bucks and I can send it their way and move on with my day. I need to help my grass grow, but I haven't had any rain in a while. Oops. I got a little too close to the garage on that one. Alright, y'all. Sorry if this one was less than awesome. I try to make them all awesome, though. So, until next time.